Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, we're back with another installment of my sit down with Chef Matt. In case you missed it, go back and watch my other two sit downs with him. He's so friendly and so knowledgeable and does such a good job of breaking down with Love Meghan Part 2. Flower harder. Anyway, I'm excited for you to see this part. I hope you enjoy it. Definitely leave him comments and your love in the leave him your love in the comments. I'll make sure he gets those. Thank you so much for watching. And again, a huge thank you to Chef Matt for your time and your very thoughtful answers to all of our questions. Now let's continue with the sit down with Chef Matt.
You'd want them to look professional,
Yeah.
and you'd strive for perfection.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And this is just a little bit like, the kids made it.
That's
Like,
that's what I was thinking. Like the son
yeah,
baked it, and then the daughter went out and gathered flowers and put it around. Here you go, mom and dad. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say that looks extremely. I have a sweet tooth, but I don't want to eat that stuff. It looks like I just think, oh, crap in my teeth. I don't want that.
Yeah.
And then I have one more flower sprinkle, and I promise I'll move off of these. I'm as obsessed as she is, but she posted this on her Instagram. And if you have about 4 hours to talk about this, I'd love to discuss it. Here you go. Oh, I call that diarrhea in a garden. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like one of those, when you take the lid off a cesspit.
Yeah.
And it's got that crusty layer over the top of it. And there's a bit of you that knows that it's really disgusting, and there's another little bit of you that wants to get a stick and poke it. It's that's the moment, isn't it?
Oh my God, you're right. Oh,
what is it?
I don't know. It was just something posted on as ever. I don't think Meghan actually made this one. I think somebody had made it and then she reposted it. But
it kind of looks like it's the start of like a latte or something, doesn't
that's
it?
what I was wondering.
Where you've got the espresso and you've poured in the hot milk, but you've just made it quite messy.
It looks disgusting. Could you imagine if somebody like they try to serve this at your restaurant? Sorry.
I don't understand that. I don't understand. It's like if you had got a bit of a fad for dried flowers, you'd get over it by now, wouldn't you? Like, even if you was making money off them, you'd sort of go, well, no, I'm not into it. Like, can you imagine drinking that?
Like, no, that's my whole issue is no, I cannot imagine drinking that. And there's a funny side note is she contradicts herself because she posted this on her Instagram. I'm pointing the wrong way. She posted this on her Instagram. And then on the show, which was presumably filmed before, she said, nobody wants to drink that, talking about dried flowers in their drink. And I'm just like, did you either forget that you did this or she must have filmed the show first and then did this? So I don't know.
I don't know if you're ready for it, but I wanted to talk to you today about the, I don't know what episode it was, but I wanted to talk to you about how ridiculous the rose water was.
I'm ready. Let's talk about it. I remember. I don't remember. I didn't take really specific notes, but I watched that one. Yes, let's talk about the rose water because she was making a big deal about it.
Please, to everybody who's listening, understand that I'm a chef and I'm not a arts and crafts guy. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
That's
from
okay.
a chef's point of view, I've got a problem with dilution, and I'm sure over the time of you guys talking to me and me giving you opinion, you understand where I'm coming from. But what we did was we got dried rose, and we call it steeping. So we got dried rose and we put it into a glass vase, and we put boiling water over the top of it, which is great. And over a period of an hour, the rose sort of started to rehydrate. The water went pink, which was great, and you think, oh, I bet that smells absolutely incredible. And then we did this really weird thing with a pan, didn't we? And
yes.
we got a pan, and we said, right, we're going to put like a liter of water in this pan, and that concentrated rose extraction that we got, that steep that we got, we're going to now dilute it like it's Ribena, and we're going to pour that into there. We're then going to make like a bain marie. We're going to put an empty vessel there. We're going to turn up a pan lid upside down, and we're going to fill that pan lid upside down with ice. because then the lid will stay cold
Mm-hmm.
and it'll cause condensation. Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news to anybody, but that's not how that shit works. So steam,
Uh-huh.
water boils at 100 degrees. When water boils, it creates steam. Whatever that steam hits is going to create condensation. So when you're doing your dinner and you've got a pan of water on the stove and it's boiling and you put a lid on it, what you're doing is you're not making that pan of water boil faster, you're keeping the steam in. So that's essentially every time, regardless whether you put ice on it or not, every time you pick that lid off that pan, water's going to drip off the lid, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what we do. But so I don't understand, unless we're just trying to be cool, or if Meghan thought no one's ever done this before, and I'm just going to invent something that looks really cool. But that's not the way that shit works. It's not. So water evaporates. It evaporates through the steam that it creates. Putting a lid on is capturing that steam to keep that water at the same level or at a similar level for longer. I don't. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me why when we got those dried roses and we poured the water on it and we steeped it for an hour, why wasn't that rose water? Why did we make rose water for an hour, and then why did we put it into a pan with more normal water, so we've diluted the ratio of it, to then fuck about with ice cubes to then make rose water again? Because I promise you, well, from a chef's point of view, the rose water that you had originally probably looked better because it was tainted pink, which is quite pretty. It 100% will have smelled a lot stronger. The aromas would have been much more prominent. But then the dilution ratio that you've gone through, it can't be anywhere near as good. It's got to have lost its aroma. It's got to have lost its scent. It can't be as strong because you've diluted it.
Yeah, no, I don't understand the point of that whole segment. I was kind of lost and baffled through that too. It just seemed like party tricks.
No, but like I am a chef, and I look at things from a chef's point of view. So if I'm wrong, and there's people out there that say I'm wrong, I completely get it. I just don't. I don't understand it from a cooking or from a chef's point of view, because the dilution that you've gone through and the process that you've gone through, to me, makes no sense. If you started out that and you'd have said, right, we're going to get a pan, we're going to put a litre of water in it, we're going to bring that litre of water up to the boil, we're going to add dried rose petals to it, we're going to put it in a bain-marie, we're going to cover it with a lid, and we're going to leave it on the simmer for 45 minutes. I'd get that. That makes sense. But to make rose water, to dilute rose water in more water, to then steam with ice, I don't get it. It doesn't come into anything that I'm familiar with.
No, I'm not a chef, but I'm more likely to do crafting and stuff. And I mean, my favorite perfume in the world actually it's called Red Roses, and it's got that scent to it. So you got me too. I got no explanation for that. That whole segment, I kept watching and thinking, who is this for? Who's doing this? I didn't even think about what the technical aspects you're explaining. I was just thinking from a human being, who has time to do this and who's doing this?
It's the dilution ratio that I don't understand. I get the process, and I understand why we've made it, and I understand what the purpose behind it, and I understand the health benefits for it. I completely support all of that. Sure. I don't understand the steps that we went through to create it. No. And I felt like there was almost like buffers of filling time that were completely irrelevant. You know, like I say, if we'd have put water in a pan, put dried petals in that pan, brought that pan up to the boil, put a bain-marie in it, and covered it with a lid, I'd be like, oh, I bet that's really good. The process that we went through, and I was just thinking, why have you made that to dilute into there to then encapsulate the steam to create? Because you're talking about the evaporation, aren't you? Because
right.
It's almost like the steam is going up, hitting the lid, dropping back down into the bowl. So you're not actually using the water, you're using the evaporation.
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. I could not figure it out to save my life. I think you're right. It seemed to be a time filler because then even after that, remember she had the little like thing and she was like spritzing
She was
crew.
spritzing everybody, wasn't she?
And again, and okay, let's get technical and say if somebody in your kitchen is spritzing people with a smell, that's like the opposite of what you want if you're around food or cooking or just as we've spoken of.
That used to be quite a popular thing, like early 2000s, and it was like there was what you as a chef you used to be able to buy them, and there were tiny little like vases that used to have little spritzers on the top of them, and it used to be really cool that you'd send food out, you'd put a glass dome over it, but just as but then you just spritz the dome before you put it on, so that when the dome got lifted up, that aroma would be the first thing that hit that customer's senses. And it was almost like a facade, because you could get all these different flavors and these different aromas. So you could maybe get a coffee one, and you'd serve a tiramisu under a cloche, and as the cloche lifted up, they'd get this espresso hit. But then it was like when they was eating the tiramisu, the brain was already programmed that this tiramisu was decadent and it was delicious, and and it was the coffee was so beautiful, and it was an artificial flavoring that you was almost spraying on.
Wow. So again, the idea that it's a very dated technique and Meghan's here spritzing people.
Yeah. Like things come into fashion and they go out of fashion very quickly, don't they?
Sure. But yeah, not for Meghan. She's reviving them and making them her own.
Yeah.
That nobody needs or wants. Okay, great. All right, tell me what you thought. Let me know your comments. That was the third part of my sit down with Chef Matt. There's a little bit more to go. Thank you so much, Chef Matt, for your time and your very thoughtful answers. I sincerely appreciate it. Guys, thanks for watching. If you want to send him your love, put him in the comments. I'll make sure that he sees that. And again, thank you so much for sticking with me. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. I love having him on and just having a good back and forth and just picking his brain on all this stuff. It's really interesting. I wish Netflix would give Chef Matt a show. I think they should. All right. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks so much for being here. Have the best day. Bye-bye. Guys, isn't he wonderful? He's so much fun. Come on, Netflix. Give Chef Matt a show. Seriously, they're just handing out shows over there. I think Chef Matt and I should have a show. I'll be the, I don't know, snarky sidekick, and he'll be the chef. This could work, right? I mean, I have more cooking skills than Meghan, and I never cook. I'm not doing this in the salad, so that's something, right? I'm already a step ahead. I can come up with way better crafts. Hello, I paint. Have me on. But no, seriously, Chef Matt is wonderful and he's so talented. So a huge thank you to him for his time and his very kind answers. I really enjoy sitting down and talking through stuff like this. And I hope you do too. If you have questions for him, let me know in the comments and we'll make sure he gets those because I'm sure he'll be back again soon. In the meantime, thanks so much for being here. I hope you have the best day. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Take care. Bye-bye.